Hello, and welcome to the Kathleen Spracklin podcast. I am a woman on a mission to gather a cadre of writers, thinkers, and teachers who are transforming the world one character at a time. And it all starts with one thing: a deep understanding of human motivation, why people do what they do, and the forces that drive them. To gain that understanding, I am mining the intersection of psychology, theology, and philosophy to make you a better writer. This is episode 130, Zettelkasten, Big Mistake That Makes Card Numbering Hard. This is one simple, direct concept that I want to make a big point about. And for that reason, I'm just slowing down and covering one point and only one point, because there is a single biggest mistake that's at the root of 99% of difficulties that people have numbering cards. So get rid of that one and everything gets a whole lot easier. So let's take a look and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, we all know that a Zettelkasten represents a tree. Let's see if I can get this back lined up. Okay, we all know that a Zettelkasten is a tree. The cards might stack one after the other in a box. They do stack one after another in the box, but they functionally build out a tree. So I've already taught you with the effortless numbering system that at the root of the tree you start with a number. Then for the children of that node, you go to a letter, 1A, 1B. And then for the next child level down, you go back to a number, 1A1, 1A2, 1B1, 1B2. This is what I call the effortless numbering system. So let's see where things can go wrong. If you're starting out with organizing yourself and you're building the Zettelkasten, if you had your whole Zettelkasten planned out before you wrote a single card number, you could write it perfectly. The challenge always comes in when you want to add a new card to the system. So let's take a look and see what kinds of cards we might want to add to this system and how we're going to add them to keep the numbering effortless. Okay, we're going to expand our family tree by a few extra people and pets. One pet. Okay, so the first one that we're going to take a look at is an addition. This mom and dad decide that it's a little bit unfair that they're only including their married children in this diagram, and they decide, well, it's okay, we're going to add our unmarried son, even though he doesn't have any kids yet. So they add their unmarried son. There's one and only one easy card number for unmarried son, and that's card number 1C. If, and in some cases, you will find even very, very respected teachers suggesting that it's quite acceptable to put unmarried son in any order in this group, and they will start giving you rules for how to number that new card so that it fits in front of this couple or in front of this couple, or, I guess that's really the only three places. But the reality is that parents love all of their children equally, and this card should be numbered one and only one thing, 1C. And we use a directory card to show, as I've showed you in the past, I'm not going to show you one right now, that lists 1A, 1B, 1C right together on a card that goes right after card 1. It's on a colored card so that we won't mix it up with the cards in our regular Zettelkasten, and it has the same number as the parent, and it lists the child's numbers down the side. As long as you obey that rule, your card numbers will never become complicated. You will never have contortions, and you will never be scratching your head trying to figure out what number to give your card. Well, let's hit this one more time with another example of the exact same nature. In this case, this couple here with a girl and a boy, add another member of the family. Now they have a new little rugrat girl crawling around. Well, again, there's one and only one valid card number for this new child, 1B3. Do not let yourself be tempted to put it any place except 1B3. Your directory card will have the number 1B, just like the parents. It will be a colored card, so you can tell it apart. And it will have 1B1, 1B2, and 1B3, all listed there, so the parents can love each of their children equally. Okay, now we've got one more rather interesting challenge. It's similar, but enough different that it's going to make us scratch our heads just a little bit. You see, this family acquires a pet. Oh, isn't he a cute puppy? Oh, they're just thrilled to have him. He's adorable. Once he gets housebroken, they're going to really love him, especially when he sleeps through the night. But he's so cute, they love him. Problem is, they want to give him his appropriate card number. What's his appropriate card number? Well, just on the face of it, you don't know what his appropriate card number is. You've got to ask the puppy. You have to say, okay, puppy, which one of these family members takes care of you? Who fills your water bowl? Who gives you your food? Who lets you out when you need to go? Who takes you for walks? Oh, okay. It's the son. And boy, you and the son are becoming a boy and his dog. Well, now you know to whom the puppy needs to be attached. And once you know to whom the puppy needs to be attached, you immediately know the puppy's card number. Remember, the child always chooses the parent. And this fine son is the doggy parent to this dog. So that dog's number is 1A1. If, however, you put the puppy down in the middle of the living room and said, okay, go, and the puppy ran straight for the little girl, and it was really clear that the puppy was that family dog, yes, but boy, that puppy had something special for that little girl. Well, then he would have chosen her for his parent, and his number would be, you guessed it, 1A, 2A. Now, if it's like in my family when we were growing up and we begged for a pet and we whined and sniffed and said, please, 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 and then we finally got the pet, and it turned out, well, who filled its water dish? And who let it outside when it needed to go? It was Mom. Okay. Then, if it's Mom that's taking care of the puppy and the puppy runs straight to Mom because puppy knows that Mom will let it out if it needs to go out, then its card number is, you guessed it, 1A3. The child always determines the parent, and it always gets the next child number. Now, in the case of where we started out, the next child number for our little boy is 1A1A because he doesn't have any other child family members that report to him. So as long as you do not give in to any kind of temptation to say that you want to position those child cards in a certain order, you will never have scrambly, ugly numbers. Now, each and every one of these numbers can be converted to the style of system if you like the slashes instead of dashes, which my system does. If you don't like those A's and B's and C's floating around and you'd rather have /1/1/, these numbers can be made into the exact equivalent cards using a different numbering system. And I'm going to prove that to you tomorrow. We're going to come back here with exactly the same diagrams with a different design plan for how you want your numbers to look. And I will show you that you will get a mathematically equivalent result. And what does that mean to say it's a mathematically equivalent result? It means that if I take your deck of cards and I throw it on the floor, and it's numbered this way or the Shepherd-Lumen way, and you pick them all up and put them back in your system, they're going to go back in the exact same order. And that's what we mean by mathematical equivalent. The card numbers will be mathematically equivalent as long as you resist the temptation to mess with the child ordering. Parents do not get to pick a favorite child. And as long as you do not make that horrid mistake, your card numbers will always remain simple. And tomorrow I will show you the Shepherd-Lumen style with the slashy dashy things, and you will recognize this exact same diagram, and you will see a different set of numbers, and you will know that you can choose whatever style of numbers you want, and your numbering can still be effortless. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.